Good Wednesday evening here, Nathaniel, along with Rachel, for our regular Wednesday broadcast of the American Reaching Mahjong League. Rachel, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing quite well, and really excited to watch some of Division A1 for Session 2. Oh, this is round 1 here. Let's go ahead and update that because we have completed 2 weeks already in the books, and a couple games have already been played in the second session for Division A1, but tonight we're watching Lucas, Harrison, Arthur Korak, and Amy, who will be duking it out tonight. One change that viewers who are familiar with A1 seasons of the past might not be so familiar with in this season is the fact that on the left hand side of your standing screen, we don't have markers for division champion anymore. Instead, there are numbers 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 25. That represents the number of points that players in the division will earn for completed in that spot in the season. So it's a sort of point collection system this time. And currently, Matthew's in the lead, Dustin's in second place, and Lucas out of this group is leading the 4 players in the points race. But still very early on today, in the series and in the season. We'll see where everyone ends up at the end. Game already underway. It looks like we have some early action from both Harrison and Amy. Call on the right for Harrison East, maybe ending up on a door Tonki. Across the way, Amy.
Door Tonki.
Maybe a Tanya play. Looks also the ability to open with the white dragon pair, but Korak holding on to that Haku, as well as Amy, neither player willing to cut it.
Harrison did make it to Tempai, so he is Dora Tonki, and for East Dora.
And East door 2, 3,900, perfectly solid way to start. Korak making some ground on the left. There we see the 8-pin pull in to confirm the Dora usage. And eventually that white dragon's got to come out, right? Not yet. Even sacrificing. What is he seeing here that's causing him to not drop this out?
Free save tile. Question mark. I definitely hold random winds and dragons just to have a safe tower throw later on. And Lucas got to Tempai for Richi, Tanyao, Pinfu. And Korak pulled the last 9 pins, so Harrison, the only way that he can win is if Korak throws that 9 pin, or if he changes to something else.
9 pin certainly is Suji, but Korak still might be suspicious. Perhaps he was reading somewhat of a half flush from Harrison, but certainly not the case here. 2 will clear.
Everyone's Tempai.
Amy only on the 5 mon, has 1 left in the wall. Korak on the 6-9 pin, and there are what? There's 1 6-pin left in the wall. Ooh, this 4 is... It's not the worst. It's not the best, though. Oh, the 6-pin. Harrison's going to have to back out or deal in. It's safe to the dealer Ricci. I think he'll just shove it. And it's Korak who'll get the 3,900 to open this game up. Bonus stick from Lucas, who threw in that Ricci stick. As expected from this table. You know, I was kind of looking at the player list for this group, and specifically the players at this table in this round. And I was thinking that we should see a lot of fights taking place. Players aren't really willing to back down at this table, so not surprised to see all 4 players Tempai in the very first hand of the game. East 2, Harrison will be our new dealer, and it looks like he might have thoughts of just whatever it takes to complete a hand with 2 Dora. I was thinking about Sozu Honitsu, but would you say that's too far to complete from this position?
I would say it's too far. Um, and with all these pairs, and when the pair being not Sozu, I think Toy Toy or Chi Toy, which I think Harrison doesn't like Chi Toy.
No,
Am I
you're
wrong with that?
absolutely right.
I think he hates Chi Toy.
With a passion. Oh my, he gets more
This is
pairs.
definitely a Chi Toy. He's
Oh, that feels like a commit. 6-so? That 6-so setting up the Suji on the 3-so. And he might be forced into this.
I think. Oh, he doesn't even call the 6-pin. Yeah,
Ooh.
he's going Chi Toy.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to call for Toy Toy when you've got these central pairs, but usually if a central pair comes out pretty early on, you at least consider calling for it. And I think he had calls on because there seemed to be a little bit of lag, but ultimately made a decision that pulling the one away from the 7 pairs hand was the play. Is that a Toy Toy call that you make?
Um, I've been going for Chi Toy more often, but in the past I would have called that for Toy Toy,
Yeah, I'm struggling
especially with
personally,
2 Dora.
right? Toy Toy Door 2 is already 12,000 points for Harrison, should he have gone that
Yeah.
route. But no, Chi Toy Door 2 is also at least 9,600.
Home.
Could even be more if you declare Ricci, flip some Uda, find a Tsumo, something along those lines. That's just a waiting
Chi
game.
Toy with Dora is just easy Baimon. You just flip 2 Ura and have Sumo. Easy.
Oh, yeah. Just add Sumo. Lucas opening up. Oh, wow. There's a triplet of the Dora. Well, Harrison
He
might be
doesn't even have
reconsidering.
to, I mean, go for like a Toy. Like, he could, with that 667 pin, he could just go for Ricci. Ricci Dora 3.
That's true. And this is, one of those times when you might regret cutting the 4-mon over, say,
Yeah.
just immediately dropping the 8-mon or the 8-so. Because now, if you had the 445 or 455 rather, and the 667 shapes, you could definitely consider just filling the 2 diamond shapes and ending up on like a 1-so north weight,
Eat.
which is pretty sneaky. But instead, it's Korak who's going to get there first. Arthur with the 8-mon Kanchan, the middle weight, for the full straight, and it's going to come out immediately. Gotta wonder what Lucas was looking at. Probably that early 7. Set the trap. Early 7 is less likely that you're going to need the 8 or the 9. I think Lucas was also fairly advanced in that hand as well. Probably Ishanten in that spot, and just didn't have a lot of defense anyway, so you might as well push if you're going to have to throw dangerous tiles. Push in a way that gives you a chance to win. And unfortunately, that was the Mongun for Korak, who will jump into a lead at 42,900. And Amy now in the dealer's seat. Hasn't moved from her starting points. Of course, as the dealer, you've got a great opportunity to do so. Just scanning the board right now, it looks like Korak also has a bunch of pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also a callable hand, so we'll have to make some similar decisions to what we saw with Harrison.
Pair number 5.
This hesitation is hilarious. He hates it. He hates the fact that it's Chitoy.
Does Korak also not like Chi Toy?
He's not the biggest fan. He'll do it begrudgingly.
Chi Toy is so good. You just have 2 Dora hit the Ura and then Sumo, and it's a Baimon. Like, easy money.
Now, the problem for Korak and Harrison both is just getting to Tempai in the first place. Once they're there, they're pretty happy with it, but the spot from Win Away is like one of the least efficient shapes in the game.
That's true.
And it's kind of interesting to see what sort of decisions he makes. Like, already passing up the South Call. Toy Toy a little bit less value here because he doesn't quite have the Dora pair.
Lucas also has 5 pairs.
Pairs abounding. And now Amy with more pairs as well. That's a pair of the Dora, though. 8-mon. First pair cut from Korak. 1 tear rolls down the cheek. Another pair for Amy now.
Anko for Korak?
You know, every now and then you get the spot where you can pick the Anko and say, we'll hedge calling for a normal hand, or you could just throw the 5-so back and maximize your Cheetoy odds. Do you tend to go one way or another on that? Is there something that moves you in one direction?
If it's towards the end of the hand, I'll just secure the toy, because there's less draws and I don't know, you get impatient and you just call your pairs.
But you pretty much always give yourself the opportunity to play for like a Suako by holding the Anko.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an opportunity to have an Anko, I'll have an Anko.
Amy takes the opportunity to call a couple pawns and is now sitting Tempai with Yakuhai Door 2. Waiting 3-6 mon. Uh-oh. Rock draws, but will not deal out this 6 mon yet. Recognizes that Amy is probably Tempai and cutting tiles around Dora as well. Harrison as well, feeling very suspicious.
Upgrade for toy.
Yakuhai Toy, Dora. It's kind of interesting. On Sumo, I guess Amy would have the 2,600 all with the diamond weight, but that pales in comparison to the 12,000. Although you do get a worse weight here. I guess if you win on the 5-pin itself, that is just a Hanemon for 18,000 points. So Amy is going for it, going for the value. Korak, I'm sure, as well as the other players around this table, extremely suspicious of tiles near this Formon that was cut. Late tile out of the hand after a couple calls usually signals that you're waiting around that tile. Not always, depending on the shape in the hand, but very frequently so. Players give it extra caution. I think if Korak gets to Tempai, he will cut the 7 mon.
You'll wait on the 6 mon?
Yeah, I think so.
There's the con.
The Suji is less worrying because he can see all of the 8 mon. But con not flipping any door for anybody. Oh, and she gets it too! Greed is good for
Greed is
Amy.
good.
6,000 all. Man, I see that play all the time and I get nervous. I'm like, the worst weight. Is it really worth the value? Like, we no one's ever going to drop a 5-pin. Just draw it yourself. It's that easy. And with that, Amy will jump into the lead. 1 Sodora. 2 pairs and an Anko in her hand. So already Ishanten. I assume you just take any Richi if you draw into Tempai here. Korak on the right has okay shapes. Nothing fancy, no super value, no Dora specifically. And Lucas across the table already having dropped the Dora means he is aiming for something faster than Cheetoy. Because he did have 4 pairs in the hand, and if you're thinking about 7 pairs, then you want to have a pair of Dora. Will not play it though. Harrison does have the Dora pair on the left, and it's just going to aim for the earliest Richi. Take a look at Amy's hand again. Still Ishanten, but holding the 5-pin this time. I guess this allows you to draw 4-pin or 6-pin, maybe get something other than the 9-pin North Shampoo weight. There's no Pinshu though. Tanya is hard to shift to as well. I wonder if she'll ever just cut this 5... Oh, she does it here. Do you like cutting the 5-pin, or do you want to maybe switch to a diamond weight?
I would like to keep the 5-pin for at least one more turn, just because the Haku you can't really use because you've already thrown it. But
I guess we're gonna both end up, or rather, whether you keep the 5-pin or not, You're going to end up in this spot and just slam the Ricci. It's not a bad weight.
There's 3 tiles remaining from Amy's perspective.
And I fear for Harrison.
Yeah, he's the floating north.
Okay, he'll start with the 8 so. Does give up the Chitoi Ishanten, but we know Harrison didn't want that anyway. Really looking for 2-5 Mon or 6-9 so. Does he judge the north to be safer than this 3-pin? I know he wants to fight for this hand.
Dum.
It did seem like right around the time, like I guess you could get away with cutting the 3-pin there, but with the 5-pin being the last Tadashi before the Ricci, definitely a little suspicious, the tiles around it, so. It was just a 2,000 point hit, but Amy is over 50,000 points now. And we've seen some big games already in round 2. Dustin had a plus over 50 points in one game, and then over 40 points in a second game to climb from just about plus minus 0 to 96.5 in 2 games.
Wow.
And right now, Amy is looking to match that. Hang on a second, isn't this the same hand? It's got the same 5, 5, 6,
This
7.
the 5, 5, 6, 7, 9, 9. Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful fill, too. Does she give up the double east? Yes. I haven't looked at any of the other hands. Does anything around the table spark joy?
Not really. Let's see, 3 Sodora.
Yeah, I'm looking. 4 pairs for Lucas? That's the best I can do. 2 Sodora connector has already been given up. Maybe Harrison aims for like a half flush in the Manzu and tries to find value that way, but looks like, I don't know, I feel like Amy's just got the edge here. Korak in this spot can try to be a little bit creative and aim for a Ricci or a Tanyao. We'll cut the 1-pin to hedge the Tanyao. And that makes me feel like he's planning to just open this hand if he gets the chance to dump the Dora. I'll hold it for now and hope to draw the 4-so, though.
He draws a 4-so.
Right on cue. What is it now? 6-8 pin? Are we going a pair cut? Does choose the 6-8 pin? Because of the Sozu acceptance, that's not just a 3-4-5-6 and an 8-8, so that's a 3-4-5 and a 6-8-8 call into Ishanten for Tanya Dora 1. One way. Another good draw for Lucas across the table, but has to somehow manage all of these pairs, and we'll just hold all of them for now. Probably going to have to turn this into a Tanyao as well. Harrison not really making any progress on the left. Oh, I take that back. Has drawn 1 useful tile.
I think he drew a 1-mon.
I would guess you are correct. Yeah, I don't remember there being 2 in that hand. And Lucas really hasn't given him anything to call either. I'm sure Harrison would be more than willing to open up for this hand.
And Korak is now Tenpai. Will he throw the 6-so, the 8-so? The 6-so for 8-so, 8-mon.
All right, I'm gonna pitch something here. Tell me what you think.
Huh?
Rather than the 6-so, we cut the 8-so. Not because we think the 7-so is a better weight, but if we draw another 3-so, then we can cut the other 8-so and play both Dora.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Plus, you can also draw a 4-so or a 5-so and have like a Ryumin weight.
I think usually in this spot, players take the Shabo, the 8-so 8-mon weight. Because they're near the edge, a little bit harder to use. Sometimes the Kanchan is better. I'm not sure that is better in this case, but I think that's an interesting idea. And I'm certainly, as the tiles are going around, Korak was thinking about the situation. What if I draw into Tenpai with a Mon tile? Which weight am I going to take? And I'm sure he's thinking about this, so that you don't have to make the decision on the spot. Looking back at Amy's hand, the one thing that's slowing this down is the fact that She can't fill this 3 mon. They're all held, and she'll get off of it, cutting the 1 mon. Still 2 5-so is really limited now. The 5-sos are all held or discarded, and the 2-so as well. The only one left is in Harrison's hand. Oh, and Amy draws the 8 mon. That would deal in, but I'm sure she's a little suspicious. We'll start with the 4. Oh no, the 7-so would have won. Harrison's probably a little bit shy about cutting the 6-so Suji to the Dora. Might be worried about a Dama hand. Oh, but Amy gets Tempai, and I feel like she's just going to jam now. Will she cut it? She doesn't like this, apparently. Yeah, we'll go with the 7-so. Maybe that late 9-mon. Convincing her that the 8-mon is dangerous. I don't know, would you have been able to stop yourself from eating the 8-mon?
Who's to say? Yes or no?
I think it's also different. Like it's one thing if someone has posed a what would you do situation, and I'm just looking back, as opposed to being the player in the moment, making the read.
I think in an online setting I would have thrown it, but in an in-person setting I would have not thrown it.
I feel like I'm almost opposite. Like online, I'm a scaredy cat. In person, it's I'm not as confident in my reads. In this case, my read would have been wrong. I would have worried about the 8 for the Honitsu, not for Korak.
Eat.
Oh wow, is that an early reach for Korak? And also, he's dealer, so let me hop on over to his perspective. How in the world did he get here? Just filled the 2 pin slams. Just Ricci only.
There's 1 4-so and 2 7-so left in the wall.
You'd prefer there to be a little bit more of that weight, but you guess you can't control it for a 3rd turn Ricci. Are you a believer in Ideonken? With the 3-so and the 8-so being cut?
I acknowledge that it exists, but I only am aware of it when I'm playing. I'm like, oh, they could see that I'm this weight when when I've discarded this and this. But like if I'm like playing against someone who has that, I would have never noticed.
I feel like I'm the same way.
I can only notice it when it's in my own discard pile.
Like after you've declared Ricci, you have nothing better to do but look at your weight and see how good it is for the other players to figure out. It's just so obvious because you're waiting on it and they're the discards.
Yeah.
But to the other players, it's actually not necessarily the case. And of course, in this instance, it came out after the fact, so it's certainly less meaningful than if Korak had discarded the 3-so and then the 8-so and declared a Ricci. I'm a big believer in it if they like do it immediately. If their first cuts are, 2 mon and a 7 mon, then I'm gonna worry about the 3 and the 6 mon. But if it's they reach you and then it shows up afterwards, less of a consideration.
I think it also matters like the if it's Tadashi or Tsumogiri. Like if it's both from their hand, or say they I'd say if the second one is like Tadashi, like I'd be more aware of it. But also like I'm not super great at paying attention to Tadashis and Tsumogiris. I've gotten better. I think the most important part is remembering what you see.
I'm very curious how willing Amy is to fight, because she had a chance to call the 6-so into Tempai, a Furiten shape, waiting on 2 5-so that had been cut already, but wasn't that optimistic about cutting the 7 pin for a Furiten. 2 Han Tempai. I guess. Finally come the last tile.
Was it the last? I think there was 1 4-so left.
You're right.
Too.
I guess the last
there was
one
of each left.
Yeah, one of each. It's Korak making back some ground here, 43,800 behind Amy's 48,000 points, and I feel like Amy and Korak already played each other, The season? It's not. They played last season, and that's what I'm remembering, but um, the head-to-head is always interesting between the two because they've got a very, I don't want to say aggressive playstyle. What is the word?
All heavy.
Yeah, they want to be involved in the game. They're not going to let the game pass them by. They're gonna, you know, play an active role in the game. Their participation is very high from hand to hand. So you end up seeing them taking fights against each other a lot. Oh wow, and Korak's to go straight for the Honitsu.
Gee.
And Amy's not going to back down either. Just jams the Haku out there, and she'll aim for Tino Door 2 or 3. Now Harrison's turn. How committed is he to the Monzu? I'm not sure actually that he'll be able to win Honitsu without pairing up like the West. I guess the West now that the Hatsu's been called. But certainly, this cutting order also from Korak really indicates that he's forcing Honitsu, because the tiles that have come out of his hand are 6 so, the ones that are lit up 6 so, and then 4 so, and then 9 so that had been cut previously. There's no real reason to hold that 9 so unless you expect it to never use it in the first place, and you are just holding it as a safe tile. And these late honor cuts as well. He has a very wide Shanten where all of the pin tiles give Tenpai. Oh, and that's a tile that can never leave Harrison's hand, so hold on to the 5 pin. He might even end up cutting 8mon out of fear of discarding the south into this hand. I like that little pause there from Korak on the Haku. It's like Daisangen? No, it's not there. Shosangen? I'm not that greedy.
I actually would have liked to have kept the Haku just to instill fear of that last Haku. Have a little bit of overflow of Pinzu, and now, like, say Korak kept that Haku and threw like a 8-pin. Lucas might have kept the Haku more seriously instead of just holding it for a safe tile.
Well, Korak did get the call into Tenpai. Had a choice, 6-9 pin or 5-8 pin, and chooses the 5-8 pin, and now Amy's got one too many of those. So it looks like she's going to have to go 3 so, 2 so, 2 so to avoid dealing in. That really limits her winning chances too. Harrison there spending some time on that 7 so cut. I don't think he's really thinking that hard about how useful it is, but rather thinking about, if I draw the 3 mon, do I reach your Dama? If I draw the 6 pin, what weight do I take? Just trying to use his time effectively so that when he draws that, 6 pin and has to make the decision, he's not making it on the fly and has put some thought into it. This is a chi for Tenpai if Lucas wants it, but is afraid of the 7 pin. And Amy has locked in this shape as she has it now, so if she does get Tenpai and pushes for it, she will have to cut the 8 pin. And now, Lucas, your choice. 6 pin jam. He can see all the 4 pins and assumes Korak is on something better than a Kanchan weight, and so doesn't feel like the 6 pin's that dangerous. Even finds the 3 pin and ends up on the same weight as Korak.
Everyone's Tenpai. Everyone's Tenpai.
Yeah, Amy has managed to draw all the upper Pinsu. And Korak with the Hote draw. Not find a winner for
Everyone's in
anybody. Impressive. I gotta say that 6-pin from Lucas was something. Because there was a small chance that it dealt into some type of Champon weight. I think the weight did have to be better than a 5-7 Kanchan, though. And if he had a read that all the honors had cleared, then he can limit it to some type of pin weight. A little risky, but it nets him. Well, he doesn't gain any points, but he would have had to pay out 3,000 otherwise. So, a really eye-catching move. It's something that, doesn't make the highlight show at the end of the year, but I think is deserving of its, time in the spotlight. Look, of course, Korak back in the dealer's seat, repeating once again, 5 Honba. What's the most Honba you've seen in a game?
Like 10.
Okay, so we need to double that before we hit that mark in Armel. I remember seeing a hand not too long ago in Armel that was something like 7 Honba, 6 Ricci sticks. That was pretty nuts.
Wow. What's that? Like 8,000 points on the table?
Yeah, it was the player won, a dealer won a Mongon and got over 20,000 points. Non-dealer here, slamming a Ricci. It's Lucas waiting 6-9 Mon. And Amy with a counter chi, breaking the Apatsu. Doesn't have a Yaku here, but is Tempai. And she's just playing this. She says, I don't think you've got the value. Naturally, if the Chun comes out, she can pull and cut the 7 Mon or even the 5 So or 6 So, but 7 Mon is obviously safe. 4 Mon as well could be cut.
Sumo.
Not gonna stop Lucas from finding the Sumo though. Uda, not to increase the value of the hand, but to pad the stats. When I think of Uda, I'm always reminded of the kind of insane season that Amy had, where she averaged 1 Uda per Ricci win.
That was like towards the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the early days of Armel, like 2nd season, 3rd season maybe. Very memorable. That's always been my like lasting impression of Amy, is that she was the Uda queen that season. Never mess with an Amy Ricci. And she might have an early Ricci here too. Already, what is that? Ishantan? Korak with some decisions to make. Doratanki or not, he chooses the Doratanki. A classic Korak move.
It's so good because you can just draw around it and drop a 2 So or a 5 So. Yeah. There you go. And then if you draw a 6 So, you drop the 3 So and then you win on the 4 Mon.
Get the Sanchoku?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, they have the same weight. 4-7 Mon. Lucas, you better not drop this. And he will cut 3 Mon and save to the Ricci. Oh, I don't know. If Lucas gets the 7 So, he might find it hard pressed to not just jam it out there. And Korak's going to take this fight. 4-pin jam. Harrison, I'm sure he wants nothing to do with this hand. He is out as best as he can be. Oh, Dora. Now we go 4-pin, 3-pin.
Okay.
It's really
8,
4
pin's already established, and 3-pin is Sujitsu, the 6-pin.
And this is the safe route to do it. Oh, an aim's gonna get there. Korak looks at that tile and says, that was mine too. Uda? Of course, we couldn't help but hit an Uda. We were talking about it, so it had to happen. Amy back over 50,000, up to 53.5 now. Highest mark I believe that she's got this game so far. And yet, another dealership for her to come. Harrison, no.
So.
5-so to say this can be some Honitsu, but not the Sozu.
Yeah, Honitsu, we don't know which suit yet.
It's awkward when you've got like 3 tiles in one suit, 3 tiles in another suit. And usually, though, I've got like 3 tiles in the third suit, so it just can't be Honitsu. But in this case, there's just 1 5-so. Oh, looks like he's not committing.
Don't know. I kind of like hedging like Suiso here.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I want to get rid of this 5-so. Okay, we didn't realize it, but it's actually Sozu Honitsu.
Oh, I see.
He's making it happen. Just 3 Shanten. 2 calls and 3 Shanten.
It's worse if than like just going Pinzu Honitsu, in which case it's only 2 Shanten.
Oh, it's happening. 8-pin.
We're
a Haku draw away from it actually being Sozu Honitsu. And now I'm committing to the bet. I just want to say it. Oh, Dora? All right.
Okay, it's actually Sozu Honitsu.
How did we get here? And Amy will take the whatever, the chicken hand, just Hatsu only. Lucas, stop this madness. Save us. At this point, I don't know if Lucas can cut the Hatsu. It really looks like he just wants to back away now, and so Amy will have to draw it herself. Korak, how are you doing over there? 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. Rough hand, though. Hard to use that Dora. Ishanten. Not fooling anyone, Harrison. That 5 mod can't be used. What are the best upgrades outside of just the direct 7? So, I mean, Dora would be great. I guess you have to call the West if you see it. And all the West are in the wall. Itsu is also a great pickup. Presumably Haku.
Yeah. Or 8-so.
Just immediate Dora. Says, I see your Tanya and I'm not afraid. In the meantime, Amy got off of this. She doesn't want to drop any Sozu. So she's cutting away from the pin tiles. And she might end up trapped in the future. We'll see what happens. But she's got nothing left but So tiles in her hand. Oh, and that's the Tempai for Toy Toy as well. 5-so, 6-so weight. Now, this is the issue. If you cut the Haku earlier, you could be choosing the Dora indicator weight. I mean, I guess that's not much better than the 5-6, huh?
Yeah. And there's just 1 5-so left in the wall.
Oh, their tile's drawn. Oh, and Amy gets it. A false Tsubo.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't think she ever drops. Unless she draws like the Hatsu.
Kan, draw Dora, swap back? No, stick with the weight.
I mean, it's Toy Toy.
Yeah.
Toy Toy Honitsu, Yakuhai. That's it? It's just Mongon.
So the other one would also be Mongon, but, I mean, who's dropping Dora indicator, right?
I mean, if we throw the 6-so, it's still Mongon, right?
Yeah.
Is it? No, I'm not good at Fu.
I think, this weight might just be better because it has better tile variation. I guess from Harrison's perspective, there's 4 tiles for this weight compared to the 3 of the 7, so it didn't matter. None of those tiles came out anyway. And Amy actually manages to maintain the Tempai, so we'll pick up a 1,500 point boost. And Quark will pay out 1,500, so 3,000 swing there. And Amy has sort of the secondary goal in this game of dunking everyone else below 30k to get the 20-point Uma Boat. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Waterfall?
Be a waterfall of points for Amy if she can get there. One Pandora. Korak's got a pair. But hand doesn't have a Yakuhai, so not really super callable. Harrison the dealer sitting with one in hand, but in a penchant shape, so a little bit awkward. Amy has better acceptance of a Dora on the right, but needs to find one of the only remaining of those in the wall. And Lucas kind of struggling there on the left, just playing standard efficient cuts and hoping that the draws will give him some direction. Wow. Harrison just cuts the Dora, says, I don't need it. It seems a bit unusual to cut the Dora when you've got this 8-so, 9-so overlapping with the 5-6.
Yeah, I don't know about the one pin cut, but if he's trying to or I don't know. Maybe he's establishing dominance over the other players by throwing the Dora early.
That might not be too far from the truth. That the early one pin saying, I'm cutting Dora, I'm close to Tempai, when in reality, well, 2-2 way is not that far from Tempai, so we'll give it to him. Shapes still remain awkward for Harrison, and honestly for the entire table. No one is pleased with what they've drawn. Korak especially, having cut the Tsumokiri 8, followed by Tsumokiri 7 and Tsumokiri 9 of the Manze. He's still hoping he can pair up the West, but little does he know that Lucas has already got the pair and is the closest to Tempai. Outside of, I guess, Amy. Amy just hit Ishan 10, but Lucas will get there first. Slams are reaching at 1-so, 4-so, and Harrison.
Arn's the 1-so.
Oh, I feel like he'll just 9.
Sabriki Patsu.
2-pin. Okay, no, just plays a Genbu.
It's too wild, too wild.
Con to Breaky Patsu is always a little wild, a little out there. Sometimes I think the situation demands it, but it's pretty rare. Yeah, and Harrison doesn't want to lose the dealership this way, but is not feeling optimistic about his chances here. So we'll just cut the 9-mon and try to fold here. I don't know, his next safest tile might be the 1-so. How about Con to draw a safe tile? Little does he know that's probably in his best interest. That gives a lot of information what just happened right there. That 6-so came out, lagged a ton. Oh, he'll Con now. So he could be pretty confident that the 6-so and the 5-so both are safe. Because the 2-so came out, and he knows somebody's sitting with a pair of 6-sos. So he can see a Kabe of 6. So you've got the wall of 6s on one side and the 2-so on the other side. So the 5 doesn't deal into the 2-5 shape, and the 5 doesn't deal into the 5-8 shape. But he'll Con half of the way away and try to win now. With the confidence that he has 2 tiles of safety should he need it. Korak knows the 4-pin doesn't deal into the Dora side because he can see all the 2 pins, but isn't so sure about the other side. And he shall 10 for Harrison.
Sumo.
In the end, though, Richie Tsumo and the Ura off of the Con or Lucas. So not the desired outcome for Harrison, but he actually almost got back to a Tempai there at the end. Amy as well missing out on a Tempai chance, but was dancing around the Ricci, so it's certainly understandable. And And she'll have her dealership in South 3. Dora Hatsu, one held by Amy, the others are in the wall. And that leads me to believe that there's some really exciting hands. I'm looking at the hand to the right, and Korak will not play the Itsu. We'll just take the shapes that he currently has, maybe shift to Tanya later. Across the table, Lucas looked like he had some pretty amazing shapes, 2 away from Tempai, hoping for 4-7 pin twice. And on the left, Harrison, that might be the weakest hand of the bunch, but it's got some central tiles to build around. That 7, so we'll slot in nicely a second 5-7-9 Jiangkan shape. For Harrison, Amy, what will she do with this Dora? I imagine she'll cut
She'll likely draw it.
Knowing Amy, I believe you. I feel like there are a lot of players that will just hold the Dora until they get Tempai, just hoping to pair it up. Are you one of those players?
I am one of those players. And then I've been lucky that I hold it and then I just draw another one.
It always feels so rewarding when you give yourself that chance and then you pull in the second one. It just makes it worth it. And it's a huge swing in value most of the times as well. It looks like Amy will just hold this till the very end. We're in the middle of the second row. Does she want to hold the east this time? Maybe giving it some thought, but not willing to cut it out yet. And they are still in the wall. There's a world where she even ends up Tonki on the Hatsu.
Chi.
As expected, Korak holding this 2-mon shape, not even holding the 3-mon because he wants to open up for Tanya. I don't feel like Amy really wants to call this. Because we have the 2-3-mon that can only accept the 4-mon for Tanya, and similar to the 7-8 pin, can't use a 9 pin if you've opened up for Tanya. And then you have to cut the door too. It just feels too slow. Those wrist spots where calling doesn't really improve your speed. Well, there's the Tempai Korak was looking for. 2-5, so Lucas Ishanten aiming for the 6-7-8 Sanshoku would be a lot of value for him. And there's the 3-pin draw. Just draw it yourself. And now Amy still holds on to that Hatsu. Ever-present threat. The Green Dragon's missing from the board.
There we are.
Right on cue. So do you go 7-8? Oh, 2-2. She'll lock it in as her pair. And things get really exciting if someone draws a discard to Hatsu, although I think at this point, no one is so inclined to do that. But I guess if she draws it herself, there'll be some decisions to make. Ishanten for Harrison. And Amy really wants to win this hand, so she's not going to call just for the Kishiki Tempai at the end of the round. I think at this point in the hand, she might just grab any Tempai, though. The 6-pin, for example.
The 6-pin, yeah.
If Harrison dares to cut it.
Boom.
Oh,
Hard
denied!
hit. And that's the last of Korak's weight.
Yeah, all the 2-sos are gone, and now the 5-sos are held as well, so Korak will not be able to win this unless Harrison drops the 5-so. He's going to chi the 6-so, I think, and cut 8. That seems pretty safe. Yeah, 8 just came out. So that'll be a Tempai for Harrison.
Chi.
And it looks like Amy's going to be the only player to miss out on a Tempai. This 4-mon doesn't look good. But he'll jam it out there and it passes. Wow, 2 Hatsu Deadwalled.
Yeah.
Not only were they not in the initial hands, but they were just not present in the live portion of the wall, so dealership will pass, Amy paying out the 3,000 points. And it's Korak's turn to try to make a comeback. Only 15,000 points back. It seemed a lot worse at the, when it was Amy's dealership, but that point exchange has made things a little bit more even, and now Korak is just a Mangansum away from taking the lead. Is this hand a Mangansumo? Also looking at the other hands. Lucas has a goal of making it to 30,000 points. If you have 30,000 points, that's the starting points, then you will have a non-negative score. So that's a Mangan goal for Lucas. And for Harrison, the gap into third place is what? 10,600. So Mangan Sumo, even with the Homba, isn't going to quite do it. He's going to need a Richi stick donation from somebody else. So he might just be playing for as many points as he can.
Or a direct hit off of Lucas.
That works too. 5,500 direct is enough, so he can do a 3 and 40 direct hit.
Would it be worthwhile to also just hit Korak for a Mangan to get more points from everyone being below 30k?
Yeah, in this case, that would benefit Amy the most because she would get the 5 bonus points of Uma. And, Harrison does have Lucas below 30k, so he's safe at the minus 15. But if Lucas gets over 30k, then Harrison would take the minus 20 penalty. So that's actually, maybe strategically speaking, Harrison is inclined to just call any win to make sure Lucas can't get over 30k and really sink Harrison down. As is, his hand is so rough. He's trying to hedge the 1-2-3 Sanchoku. He's trying to hedge the straight and the Manzu. Itsu is just not coming together. It feels like any second now somebody else should get to Tempai. Korak is Ishantan, but his weights are very bad. Amy draws an improvement. And Lucas, a couple tiles away from Tempai. Curious 4-pin keep. I think he wants to angle towards 3-4-5 Sanchoku, if I had to guess. But eventually that tile's just gotta go.
Tempai.
Dama.
We Dama that.
A rare Amy Dama. Just trying to lock in the first place here. She could slam Richi Pinhu Dora, where hitting Korak and fighting an Uda as well would be enough to bring him below 30k, but looks like her goal is just to confirm the lead. That's also probably a little bit of consideration the fact that 3 of her winning tiles have been discarded already. Most importantly, the 9-mon. And her pawn really looks like she could use a 6-9-mon.
There's the 6-mon. Keeps it.
Backs away. Still Ishanten and Tempai could.
Tempai for Korak. And all the 3-mons are in hand now.
It's probably not going to win, but that means we are likely to see another round.
But that 9-mon is safe to the Richi.
Oh, and that'd be a way for Harrison to stay in this hand, but that's going to deal in Pinhu Dora 1, 2,000 points to Amy. The Dama panning out here for her for an extra 3,000. And she will confirm a big first place, a much needed first place. Will climb back in the standings. Korak with the positive points will also move a little bit higher in the standings. Stays in the same position, but at least is sitting at 11.9. For Lucas, minus 13 points will drop him pretty close to Stanley there in 4th place. And Harrison, eating the minus 35, will shift back towards the middle of the pack. Seemed like there were a lot of kind of tricky situations, but the big hands, you had to find yourself a big sumo in order to be in the positive there, and Amy was kind of showing how it was done. All right, gonna take a quick peek at the standings and the games. It looks like they took a small break. So the next game will start in 4 minutes, and we will be able to watch that as well. Perhaps we should take a quick break ourselves, and when we come back, game number 2 of this A1 showdown. All right, folks. While we were gone, game 2 started. And we're right in the action again. Amy in the dealer seat. Game number 2. I actually think they're playing all 4 today because a number of the players at this table will be participating in the Invitational Tournament. The tournament that qualifies U.S. players for the WRC World Riichi Championship that will be held in Tokyo later this year.
Oh, is it invitational this weekend?
It is this weekend in New York, and so I know Korak is going, Lucas is going, Harrison is going. Is Amy playing in the Invitational? I'm not sure. She might be there even if she isn't because she is a local to that area, so it'll be absolutely fantastic seeing all 4 of these players, hopefully.
Are you going?
I am going. I'll be flying out, well, Friday, so I'm going to be getting there the day before. It'll be a little bit tight, but we'll make it happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've never visited the studio, the Sparrow's Nest studio in New York, so let's call it my pilgrimage. I'm also really excited to see what Lucas is doing across the table. If he finds a 3-pin, that's a doko. They're both on the wall too. We could actually see a doko. No, not this way. Okay, not yet. We still have time.
A 3-pin, yeah.
We either need a 3-pin to filter out from somebody, or Korak to draw like a 6-pin. 4-pin's not quite it. He's dropped the 2 pins, so yeah, that will just come right out. Ishanten for Amy, also a toy.
Each.
Oh, and Korak finds the 2 by, and that will sadly be a Tanyao. I bet you if Lucas looks in the wall, his next draw would have been 3-pin. I'm calling it now. We'll check the log. Undeterred, Korak opens immediately. Nitsu is an Akanashi player's best friend. Starts with the north, though. Maybe not a full committal. And there it is. Well, let's see. On the right, Lucas with East pair, West pair, 9-mon Anko. The 3-pin pair is going to make you think of flushing chances. But this 3-3-4 pin shape might be too strong. Across the table, Harrison has cut a 6-so, 4-so, and 5-so. Mistakes were made. But still, not too far from Tempai. Amy to the left. Door pair, always promising. But, oh, well, that 6-so certainly fills some shapes. She might even play for 5-6-7 Sanshoku. I'm assuming she would pull in the 2-mon door if it came out. Will she call the south? I do know that it was passed earlier, but that...
south.
Ooh.
Going for a Tanyao, looks like. Or, sorry, Pinfu.
Mm-hmm. Maybe both?
Maybe both.
Korak will try to snipe this 9-so, but the 3-so comes out. No Sanzo memes today. Is this bonus fu? It is. Dragon, Honitsu for 3 Han. You get 8 fu for the concealed triplet of Haku. 2 fu for the called 8-so triplet. And then you're going to get 2 fu for the Tonki a fun exercise for the viewers at home. Also, even if we didn't have, say we can call it chi instead of that 8-so triplet, we could still get the bonus fu up to 12
Sumo.
by Sumo, and there it is, the 9-so comes into hand for Korak. So 26 all, 2,600. It's a good start for 11th place player currently. Looking to climb after this game. Maybe even exchanging places with Harrison. We'll see. Once the door again, Terminal Dora. Can be awkward sometimes. What is your least favorite Dora tile? I'll preface this by saying, some people hate it when the round wind, like in the east round is Dora. Some people hate it when it's a dragon. Some people hate it when it's like a 5 because it's so easy for other players to use.
I think my least favorite Dora tile is a north, because it's useless.
Everyone sees it's like, yep, it's gone. And then you're sitting there with your 1 north like, I was going to talk you on that.
Because, like, I like wigging on west, so, like, I would like a west Dora. South is, the round wind, and east can be a round wind. The dragons are all worth something. And then the 1 through 9 are all pretty useful as well. So I think the only useless one for me would be the north.
Clearly not a Peitonki best
I'm not a
donkey.
Peitonki believer. I'm a best weight.
It's just part of being on the West Coast, right?
It's a West Coast essential.
Along with West Seat, Best Seat, and a number of other West related.
I've never heard that.
I'm a big fan of the West Seat. I like starting there.
I really like the West seat, but I think South seat is the best seat, especially in timed tournaments and timed time games. South seat is best.
Yeah, very relevant to the players who are going to be playing the Invitational as well, because it was going to be like an hour per game. It's an hour 10 minutes per game, but and with on an auto table, I think they should be able to finish. But it's fast.
What auto tables does Bear's Nest have?
They've got a few different varieties. I'm not as well versed in auto tables personally because I'm not near a place that has any, but
that's fair.
It's like Slim Scores or something like that. Got a few of those. I want to see a full like Rex 3 parlor one of these days.
Ricci.
Wow, that's a great early Ricci here. Oh, I guess it's not early anymore. We're mid second row, but Ricci Tanyao Pinfu. I was getting excited at the thought of Ipeco here, but just not quite the right Sozu. The weight is pretty live for it being this late as well. There are still 4 tiles in the wall.
Oh, that is super live. Wait, is it 4? No. Oh, because it's 2-mon, 5-mon.
If I was in Amy's shoes, I'd be pretty optimistic about sumoing. If I knew there were 4 copies in the wall at this very moment. We'll see what the wall has to offer. Since the Ricci has happened, none of the tiles have come out. Have even been drawn by the other players. And yeah, there it is. Right on cue, Ricci, Tsumo, Pinfu, Dora, Tanyao, or not Dora, but Tanyao and the Uda. I knew it was coming. It was a preemptive Uda call. Seems like we have the 2023 Amy. I think all of her Ricci wins have hidden Uda.
I think so.
Lucas. Now the dealer Ipeco chance in the Sozu just needs to find a 5-so. 4 pins, great job. Draw for Tanyao. And it seems like a really straightforward hand to play. Harrison on the right, maybe less so. Cutting the 5-so early after a 6-pin as well. You see those early cuts, your mind starts thinking about all the different things that could be in that hand. And no, it's actually pretty normal. It's just overflowed off of those tiles because he had geometry shapes elsewhere and wants to use the Dora. Still maybe a little bit unnatural to hold the 1-mon over any of those tiles, but the blocks are just kind of
Making
there
people
already.
think he is a Kokushi.
Yeah. Across the table, Amy can call this hand down, but no real value attached to opening. So we'll see how long she chooses to wait. I know this is always a point of debate among Ricci players. Do you open in these hands for just 1,000 points? Or do you try to pass the first red dragon and maybe draw it yourself later, or Ricci waiting on it later? Of course, there's a lot of factors that affect that sort of decision, but some players are more inclined to stay closed and Ricci, and other players to open. I feel like Korak is definitely a player that would open. Harrison leans more towards staying closed, but can flip, one way or the other. Lucas, I feel like, prefers staying closed in that situation. I'm not sure about Amy. Oh, she hasn't had the opportunity. Oh, interesting shape for Lucas. I can see this being posted in one of those study channels. Is this the wing shape?
Dom.
And he does snipe out the 1,000 points. Did not have a chance to shift to Honitsu for extra value. It was a little bit late for that move anyway. And that will extend her lead going into East 4. Harrison's first try at the dealership in this game. 5-pin Dora. Well, here we go. That middle Dora. Lucas with a pair on the left. Korak opening up quickly. Believes in his toy odds, but will hedge out, a Dora draw in a normal 2,000 point hand. Amy on the right. Looks like it'll be, well, I was going to say Ricci, but until the Hatsu is paired up, might just be another fast 1,000 points or 2,000 points given that she has a Dora. Of course, Harrison the dealer. Slamming a Ricci will be the plan. Oh. So draw certainly helps that plan. And Lucas' hand is so slow right now. Really, really seeking out dragon pair, but this might get him into trouble. I foresee a world where Amy ends up on Hatsu 1-pin Shabo. That green dragon not safe in Lucas's hand. Korak already tempai for 1,000 points. Okay, Lucas playing the 1, so maybe 2 so to follow. Harrison could take the perfect Ishanto with the 8-pin cut, or just Sakigi the 4-pin. I feel like Harrison usually cuts the 4-pin here. But we're seeing new and improved Harrison. Harrison 2.0.
What is perfect Ishanten?
Perfect Ishanten. That shape where you've got a pair and 2 diamond shapes, double-sided shapes, where one of them also is a pair, so in this case 3-4, and then the 3-4-4 pin. And that means that no matter how you draw into Tempai, you will have a 2-sided weight. If you draw the 9-pin, you can just cut the 3-pin, use the 4-pin as your pair. If you draw the 2-pin, then you cut the 4-pin, and then the 9-pin will be your pair.
Ricci.
Okay.
Well, there's that reach from Amy, though she got through this a different way, cutting the 1-pin pair, so the green dragon is safe. Lucas offered an escape route, but he's got so many deal and tiles in his hand. He'll just cut the 2-so in to the Tanyao and diffuse the situation. Perfect Ishanten, of course, one of those hand shapes that's great for players to memorize because it's very efficient. It offers a lot of tiles that will draw you into Tempai, and your weight's going to be good at the end of it, so. Definitely goes into, like, the book of things to memorize. Two call. Amy says, I want to repeat. And my hand isn't worth anything anyway, so might as well do it quickly. Ooh, interesting choice here. I think cutting the 3-mon maximizes the efficiency, right? 3-mon or 2-mon?
I like the 2-mon better. But we already cut the 5-mon, so it doesn't really matter.
Because if we cut the 2, we might be able to shift upwards in some worlds, but yeah, as opposed to cutting like 2-pin, 4-pin. Still feels like this gives us good acceptance, and we can, improve the shape as well. Another one of those hands where Green Dragon is door. This time, Korax holding one, Harrison holding the other, and 2 in the wall. Waiting game between the two of them. We'll toss it first, and it feels like Harrison probably will drop before Korak does. Amy, though, already tempai. The funny thing here.
Not tempai.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it kind of looks like she's doing something in the Pinzu.
Yeah.
Pinzu heavy hand. She only has 1 block there.
Now tempai.
Overflow comes out. Fake overflow. And I imagine that she'll swap to just about any other Tonki. Well, not that one. And now that I've said that, I feel like I'll be saying not that one for a while. 1-mon would be a great draw. Something like Forso would be a great draw. Could even cheat that. That's funny. I think Korak will deal in.
Dom.
Yeah, the hand looks so pin heavy. It has 0 pin tiles at the end of it. Amy accomplished what she sought out, though, in that initial call, grabs the 1,500 points, and hits it off of Korak specifically, which helps improve her chance of ending first in this game to hit her direct competition. It gets to repeat. This hand looks like it could be worth a lot. Richi, Tsumo, Dora, even Uda, and you're looking at 12,000 points. Straight is a possibility, 1 through 9 of the Pinzu. Is there a Sanshoku here? Not really.
If you close one eye and then close the other eye, anything can be a Sanshoku.
It's a Sanshoku in your dreams. Well, this is actually a really wide Ishanten. Kutsuki. Oh, but pick the wrong tile. It's like a sticky Ishanten where you've got all these floating tiles, you've got some completed shapes and a pair, and then you're sticking a 5-so and a 3-pin or a 6-pin as the tiles that you want to attach something to, and she drew the Dora. That's a perfect draw. P through Dora 2 will stun the Richi. I guess the hesitation there was just deciding if she wanted to Dama. I suspect players are not so eager to cut tiles around the 4-7 pin, but you know what? Just Tsumo. And the odds are very good for her. There's actually 5 tiles in the wall. For such a central weight around the door, it's kind of insane to think about.
Tsumo.
No, Uro, what the heck?
This is new. This is something different, but Amy's not going to complain too much because she is now sitting almost at 50,000 points again, the only player over 30k. When I look at a series and I try to figure out how the people who picked up a lot of points, how they did it, the one theme that I see over and over again is they just draw their winning tile. It's that easy. Just sumo. It's one thing to get to Tempai. It's another thing to be able to get to Tempai and win. To draw your winning tile. And when you're sumoing, usually you're getting a boost of value too, because you reach and you get the Tsumo Han. Big news for Amy. Do we see the con from Korak here? Would you con?
Absolutely.
It's a terminal con. He'll wait. Okay, not going to give up on it
Oh,
yet.
wait, it's not East round, so.
Yeah, still 32.
If it were East round, it would be like 0 seconds. I've already done it.
I guess if he calls the green dragon, he can still cut the 6-0 and retain the con chance. And I think if he draws any improving tile from here, he's going to con. Unless he decides to Honitsu shift, which it might be too late to do that. He will Honitsu shift. Amy might start calling too. Yep. Haku held for the time being, but once Amy gets that, she will be Tempai on the 2-pin for Yakuhai Door 2.
Another con opportunity.
Con.
I don't think this won't. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, he just slams it.
And he draws an Anko. That's crazy.
He almost doesn't need the Anko, but he'll take it.
Imagine Korak has that 7-so.
Oh, Korak drew the Haku, the white dragon, in hand, which means now Amy's not going to get it. She's stuck. And Dora has been flipped as another indicator, so 8-so's shown up twice. That means 9-so. Those 9-so pair, that 9-so pair rather for Amy is worth 4 Han, but she can't win.
Each.
And Lucas is going to wait on the 9-so. It's 8-so, 9-so. But Korak, if he's challenging... Oh, does he go... Okay, 1-so first. The 8-so looked kind of safe. Oh, I'm sorry. It does not look safe at all. I forgot that the 4-so was con, not the 7-so. Yes, the 1-3 certainly looks much better.
Or Harrison's Tempai.
Yeah, somehow he's...
2-pin.
But it's for Tanya only. Oh, I see what's going to happen. He's going to... The 5-so is going to be dropped by Korak, and we're going to see a third con. Yeah, he just did not like that 3.
G.
And Amy finds her way to Tempai. Oh, but that 2, that doesn't deal in. There's no Yaku there. But she also doesn't like these Manzu. Just like Harrison, the lower Manzu just kind of bad. Anything 2 through 6. And she'll back away. There is one 9-so in the wall for Lucas, and what a Tsumo it would be. The 9-so is 4-5 Dora. Seven months safe. I know she draws the other side, but she'll just jam it. Not sure what made it safe, but oh, I guess there's 3-5-so out, or 5 mon out rather. Trusted the one chance. Or Manaka Suji. Lucas out of draws, so he can only win by a deal in here. And Harrison draws it. Oh, surely you don't drop the Dora here. That seems like a tile you can never cut. 1 mon. Yeah, get out of there. Amy does as well. Harrison shakes his head, I'm sure. Shakes his fist. Did you really have to give me the only tile that deals in? I feel like there was, what, Amy, I think, made a call? A chi? After that, Ricci.
She made a pawn and a chi.
봄,
And but they were both before the cons.
I see.
地
We shift forward once again. Korak now. Second place. Speeding this hand along to collect the Ricci stick and the 3 Honba that currently sit in the middle of the table. Actually, Shantan already, so although the shapes are poor, can improve them. 3 mon or 7 mon would be excellent draws. 3 pin, of course, for Tenpai. And the door draw is something you'd absolutely accept. Speaking of, Korak's got to be feeling pretty good about that pickup. Not just because it's an extra door up, but it also really significantly improves the flexibility of the shapes. Harrison also trying to call us down across the table for just a Tanyao to collect those sticks and stay close to Lucas in third. Lucas, by the way, Ishan 10. We've got that sort of perfect Ishan 10 situation again with a pair of Wests.
yeah.
And the
1,
3-4-4, which is the sequence with a pair attached, and then the 6-7 sequence that gets filled. And as happens, we've got the good weight, 2-5 pin, double-sided weight, and draws the wrong tile.
ドン
There was only 1 2-pin left in the wall.
That was a good weight, but not a live weight,
Yeah.
unfortunately for Lucas. And that's actually really big for Harrison now. And South 3 has gained the advantage. Picked up an extra 2,000 point swing because Lucas donated a Ricci stick and Harris collected it. So that will be now almost 4,000 points difference between the two of them. And critical South round here, where all the players are fighting amongst each other for the, second, third, and fourth. Amy can sit casually at the top of this table at 48.5, not really in fear of losing her first place. The only question is, how many points can she end with here? Just trying to manage the situation so that the game steadily progresses forward to its conclusion, and she can maximize her chances to collect points. Tudora, that's great. Yeah, just immediately cuts the 5, so it says, I've got my blocks. I don't need anything else. I guess you do miss out a little bit on the 4-so draw, though. Even the 6-so, just a wee bit. Oh, wow, not even accepting the 8-so. So just forcing the usage of both of these Dora. Will not accept Tenpai any other way. Or she just knew. She just knew that she's going to draw the 3rd Dora into Tenpai. And it's a Kanchan that only has 2 live in the wall. So you wouldn't expect it to be an easy win. I've seen Amy win with worse, though. We'll see if it comes through. And Lucas has a lot of incentive to fight here in his last dealership, so if he gets Tenpai the wrong way, he might have to drop out this 4. That's sticky Ishanten if he calls this, so calls 4-so, and he'll try to stick a tile to this 5-pin or this 4-mon. And if the tile sticks to the 5-pin, he'll deal in. Well, that's one. Yeah, it's not great because you're just waiting on the 4-pin. So he might not even accept this. No, he does.
Dom.
Says the 1 pins are cut already, so I just have to take my Tenpai. Ricci Dora 3 for Amy, another Mongon, and she cannot stop winning this game. This feels like the games I just played with Dustin. Just absolutely, he was on a roll. Very similar outcomes to this game, it seems. One more chance to knock Amy down, and that's for Harrison to have an extended run as the dealer. And here he sits in South 4. I see a couple pairs of ones and a third one. I guess a fifth one. And I think Doko. It's not a serious thought, but it's definitely a possibility. And Harrison doesn't feel the same way. Unfortunate.
Amy has a nice hand where she can just call end the game.
Oh, yes.
She has that Onko of Chun.
Really does make things easy. You know, we saw Amy earlier in the game open up Atosuke, you know, without the completed dragons, hoping that she could complete it, and it didn't get there. But this time she's got from the get-go, so she'll be very fast. Also, she's probably pretty happy to see Korak opening up, because he can also end this game. As long as he doesn't have Door 2, she has nothing to fear, and she can confirm first place as the only player above 30,000 points. I'm curious if she draws 2/5 Mon, if she'll just slam a Ricci on the Forso. It seems bad in this spot. Because at least we're vulnerable to this hand from Lucas.
I don't think she Ricci's, yeah. No Ricci.
Solid play.
As of right now.
And maybe if she gets an upgrade, although the 2-so isn't even that good because all the 1-so are out, so it's the same weight.
With 6-so?
Yeah, 6-so would be the one.
Yeah.
Here's an Ishanta.
Sumo.
Just sumo. I guess she should have reached. I don't know. When you are on a roll, you just hit the button, I guess. This is a great outcome also for Amy, as she will confirm first place even without the Ricci. Plus 49.2, gaining 20 points of Uma as the only player above 30,000 points. Usually first place only gets 15. Now Korak will take a negative second here, minus 3.6. Harrison, negative 12.2 in third. And Lucas.
And that brings Amy up to like
she's positive
contention where she is also getting points towards. Yeah.
Amy started out at the lower half of the division, lower quarter of the division, due to just a couple unlucky games. But we knew Amy wasn't going to stay down there for long. And 2 games into it, she's already up at plus 30 almost. All right, we can take a peek at the standings that have been updated. I think that they are playing more games in this table, but I also want to see what's going around in the other divisions. And I want to see if there are any other games going on live right now. It is about the time when a couple games should have started, and indeed we do have some options. C17 has started, C110. And I am willing to hop into another match, but it will take me some time to set it up. So I will go ahead and put us on pause for a couple minutes, swap things around. When we come back, more Mahjong action this Wednesday evening. See you in a few. All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got C1 table already in session. We'll hop in just a second. We also had a quick swap out as Rachel had to step away, but we found a replacement, and it's Alex. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the commentary earlier, and thank you, Alex, for hopping in.
My pleasure. We're just going to hop right into an East 4. Looks like we have a Ricci on the table. Looks like just a Conchon on the 3 Mon. There's already 3 shown, only 1 left in the wall. And dealer is sitting Ishanten Chitoy. Very precarious position if they were to find Tempai.
Yeah, I suspect, though, that they're never dropping the Dora, so should be safe.
Yeah.
Also,
the
there's
aforementioned 3 Mon.
no. Oh, I guess maybe
Oh,
dancing
but
around
there's a
this Ricci pin.
Tempai. There's also another Tempai for Chitoy on the right there.
Oh, you're right, 5 pin.
Bert is looking for a 5 pin, just like you mentioned. There it is, but that's not gonna get thrown.
No chi from Tam Free. Steven says, I need to draw a pair and doesn't find it. We'll have one more chance on it at this, assuming no calls, which there shouldn't be any. And
Yeah,
misses.
I think this is gonna get to Rikokyu.
You called it. Yukioku, it's a draw. And dealership will pass. And so we'll join the game in full from the South round. Mentally, it will seem to us like an East-only game, but players have been at this for a while. Wow, how about that? Starting with all of the 5 Mon.
Wow. The con straight off the bat. Ooh.
Yeah, usually you don't con the middle tile because you're hoping to, say, draw 6 Mon, then you can use the Dora. But
although that's looking pretty complete already. They just need to find a pair. But there's that 6 Mon you did mention.
I feel like the commentator calls have been on point tonight. Rachel was nailing some calls. I accidentally called a Dora before the Udo was flipped. And now the 6 Mon.
And a very interesting decision here. Decides to drop the Nobiton. Is really thinking that he can make this 4 or 5 Mon work.
Yeah, it's really interesting because just cutting the 5 Mon is actually pretty efficient.
There it goes.
Woo-hoo.
Oh boy.
That's spicy move.
And now our dealer is like, what the heck is that? I have a pretty hand, and now this gets in the way. Oh man.
Yeah, the 4/6 Mon just completely blocked off. If they were hoping for Ipeco, it's not happening anymore.
Oh, I was thinking more big picture there.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking of a guy named Ryan, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not showing up today. Beyond Ipeco not possible in the Monzu at least. I guess you could do that in the Pinzu now. By the way, the con flipped up the 1 pin to be the Dora indicator, 2 pin the new Dora, along with the 7 Mon, and we can see a pair on the right.
You thinking there might be multiple cons here this rotation?
Well, we had a game from the A1 division that had, what, 4 cons at the same time? No, 3 cons. So it's possible. Pulm?
Oh, this might be... Ooh.
Now let's go.
Let's let it go.
Oh, and that's going to get
here's Reach. Oh, boy. 4-7. Chun 2 Dora.
It's a Mongon for Zach. If he finds a Sumo, there are decent chances at an Uda because there are 2 indicators.
Does not find it. But that 8 is going to tip, very common trick to throw something right next to what you need.
Yeah, although I say, as a high-level tip, usually that comes into play a little bit more frequently, like maybe a couple percentage points more frequently, later in the hand when they've already cut several middle tiles. In this case, they just kind of finished cutting their outer tiles and terminals, and they're there. Just 1 4 Mon and 1 8 pin. That might be enough. That might be enough to tip it off. That it's near the 8 pin, but not necessarily as guaranteed.
There's a Reach. This is Reach opportunity. Takes it.
Oh no, that's not a good Reachy though.
Yeah, because
okay. Finds.
Oh, no!
The Uda 4 out of nowhere. Surprise! I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting the 4-pin cut. Not because that was the wrong play. In fact, the 4-pin cut was a lot better than what I was thinking about doing. I was worried about cutting the 6-mon and playing the Ipeko and waiting on the dead 4-mon, 6-mon wait. But Licht was observant, and is that Bert? Bert was observant and knew that you have to play the Chitoy. Just a tough choice there, whether to cut the 4-pin or the 8-pin. 4-pin or the 5-pin. And 5-pin was maybe the slightly better cut because it was half Suji to the 8-pin, and if it's Suji to the Dora tile, it means if they had a 3-4 shape, at least you're not dealing in with the Dora. Whereas if you're dealing with a 4-pin and they have a 2-3 shape, then you are dealing into a Dora shape. That's an interesting component.
We're going to have a rather quick dealer hand. They've already called. This is going to be Tanyo for sure. Just figuring out what's going to be the pair, what's going to be the play.
Yeah, just use a couple 6s. Ooh, a 6-mon would have been a slightly wider Ishan 10. You just look for the 6-so and then either the 4 or 6 pin. But I think what this dealer is focusing on is maybe the good... Actually, I'm not sure I'll call it a good shape, but the 2-sided shape that the 4, 5, 6, 6 provides.
So I know you mentioned in another space about the reminding yourself of what a good deal-in was. Did you think that last one was a good deal-in given the situation?
Yeah. So I've talked about this before. You know, as a player who's very defensive, one of the things that I had trouble with when I was learning was this idea that, you know, sometimes there's nothing you can do. You're just going to deal in. And like it would stop me from pushing the hands that I was supposed to push because I was afraid that I was going to deal in. And
hey, I'm going to interrupt you here for a second. We do have Tenpai on a very expensive hand.
Yeah, the problem is it's Mochi Mochi. The tune is in both hands. So it's probably not going to come out, even though that would be a Mongod. We do have Tenpai for
We
dealer
do
as
have
well.
another Tenpai for dealer on the 6. On only the 6 would qualify for Tanyo.
And that's a Shabo Richi. Now that hand might win just because it has the 1-pin weight, which is live.
And that dragon discard is going to be very, very misleading.
Yeah, Dax certainly doesn't feel like they want to cut this Shun pair. Kind of running out of options, but certainly cutting the door is always risky, even if you're holding a pair of it. Okay, call back into a different Tenpai.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would have been... That 6-0 would have dealt in if they would have kept that shape a little longer, but decided the dealer just wanted something different. Is now 4-mon 7-pin.
It's Hudi-ten. Two Hudi-ten players right now. We have another Tenpai on the left. Still
on the Sanzo.
1-pin still in the wall. Sanzo is held 1, 2, 3 times.
Oh.
So one of those. Oh, it's gonna come out.
Oh.
Most of the 3 pins were cut, so it was a really sneaky weight there. And hits the Uda as well for
And
the
an
Mongon.
extra Ura to upgrade it to a Mongon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Zach could spare the points, had a huge advantage with that Baimon win earlier, but now paying in the Mongon. Plus all those sticks went to Tamfree as well.
Okay, I just got Doko opportunity now on the left.
You're right.
Get some Doko love in a Armel game. That's always fun.
We had a Doko Tenpai in the A1 match earlier on the 3-pin, just the wrong side came out. With the Richi too, so you just had to take the win, but...
Oh, could this be looking for more, apparently?
The problem is it's
don't tell me.
Oh,
this is skips the call.
It's
Says,
definitely
no,
wrong
thank you.
to call it, but it's very funny.
Oh, I would have just said no. I want to complete the meme. Give me my Doko.
We want that, but We really don't want it this way, not by calling it.
Although that is also a chance for Junchan, but how you feel about that one? Doesn't take that one either. Oh, I think they're thinking I want the Junchan. For Ishan 10 for Junchan.
Oh, to the comment in chat. Yes, the end of the story is I had to train myself to take those Richis and to take those fights. Take the Richi here for Citru, 1 Mon, 1 pin. It's not going to be Doko, but it could be Saranko on Utsumo. Yeah, so I would take the fight and deal in and say, good job, that was a great deal in. Because if I didn't tell myself that, I would have, the lesson I would have learned from that was the wrong play. Don't do that again. But it wasn't the wrong play. It was the correct play. It just dealt in. Sometimes that happens, and you can't be afraid of making those decisions. It's always good to look back objectively, though, when you do log reviews at the situation and try to determine with the information that I had at this time, not with the hindsight of what actually happened, but with the information that I had, was this the correct decision to make? And sometimes that can be hard as an individual to determine. But especially if you can find other people who are willing to help out with log reviews, people whose opinion you respect, especially, like, that can be such a huge part of improving. Because they can tell you, yeah, that was the correct thing to do, and it really makes a big difference.
Looks like dealer is making a move here towards Chitoy, but
Ooh.
again, that's gonna make him that's gonna make them susceptible to this really strange reach.
Oh, that 9-pin draw on the right was really exciting because there's a small chance at a Junchan even, but a little bit too risky to push.
Oh, throws it anyway. Oh, just a Richinomi though.
Yeah, that's not such a harsh punishment for taking a little bit of a gamble. And 1-pin, 1-mon weight's super tricky as well, so.
And this South round has flown by. It's now all last. And we now have a real fight for who's going to get first here. And this dealer hand is looking real quick. That is 3-4-5 Sanshoku, and I'm not even joking.
No, I agree. It has the potential. And even if you draw, say, a 3-pin, you don't get the Sanshoku. That's still great. You've drawn a pair of Dora. Speaking of pair of Dora, on the left, that's looking amazing. Oh, and the door's going to come out. One thing you can do...
This might be callable.
Oh, it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be callable, yes.
This could get really expensive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it can get expensive in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be Tanya or Honitsu. Probably Tanya since the Hatsu's coming out, but that's not bad either. Tanya Dora 3. Dax is looking to get a Mongon to get over 30k.
We need to think bigger. Chinitsu, Dora.
That would be Baimon, yeah. That definitely qualifies as bigger. Headless. Shape here, no pair.
That would Gakuten somebody, given the right circumstances.
Yeah, I think it would surpass both on direct hit.
Yeah, either one of them would be enough.
Interesting 3-pin cut. Technically, this is also like a headless, no pair situation across the table, which is typically very strong, but like I kind of... The 2-2-2-3 shape is usually very good. It's not so good this time because all the 3s are gone and most of the 1s are gone, so it's really just waiting on the last 1 pin and the 4 pins. So we'll get the Suchi Trap Richi
just
instead.
Find it. Oh boy.
No call? Rewarded for the no call.
Oh,
with a 5.
Does get closer, but still needs a little bit of work.
Gonna
have to dodge.
1 away from Tenpai. And
you
that
can incorporate the danger tile.
Which wait, you can cut the 6-pin and wait on, 5 so, 8 so, 4 pin. Just takes the widest weight. It's a Nakasuji as well. 6 is in the middle Suji to the 9 and the 3 that were cut.
This is just still Tanyo 3 Dora.
1.
Senpai. Dealer's gonna slam. We got a 3-person race here. 7 so has 1 tile in the wall. 6 9 so, 3 9 so are visible to us, as well as 2 oh, the last 7 so
Oh!
somehow comes out and will deal in instead. Richi Ura won.
And that is going to end the game there with Zach up on top.
First place confirmed for Zach. Plus 39.7. What a fun game this was.
Steven's going to take a second there. And then Dax is going to take a third. And then Bert, unfortunately, is going to take the fourth. But it's still early on in the season.
Yep. This was the first game of their session 2. By the way, I was very pleased when the head of the league made an announcement that all the games had been played in the first round. Usually, there's one table that runs a little bit late with the scheduling. This time, everyone got their games, and it's very impressive. Well done, everybody, for your scheduling prowess. And I know this session in particular is going to be kind of tricky with so many players, 64 of them going to the Invitational, plus volunteers and staff and all sorts of things. So it's hard for players to get their games in, and that's why I know so many people were playing a bunch of their games early in this first week of the session. And so,
yeah,
just well done, everybody, on the scheduling, though. It can be really challenging sometimes.
That's me applauding. I applaud all.
We're going to catch game 2 in just a minute. Let me, they should be very close to starting. Alex, have you played your session 2 games yet?
No, but we have them scheduled for Sunday, so
Very good.
we are not going to get very much help for contacting people if they can't show up because of the invitational. Yeah, but anyway, this game is looking like off soon, and there it goes. Right into game 2. And a very interesting 4-pair hand from our dealer there. And we've got nice kind of little draw. Maybe we can switch to Honitsu, given the right tiles. But scanning the rest of the table, we got shapes. Got tiles.
Shapes, indeed. I'm seeing a lot of pairs. Gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure how optimistic I am about all the hands that are holding pairs.
No, it's a mishmash. It's what Mahjong is.
Yeah, on the left, we've got an east pair, so that's callable. The round wind. Ooh, cutting the door here is interesting. Usually players will cut like just the white dragon and say, if I draw the 5-pin, I'm Tenpai with the Dora. And usually, when you hold the white dragon, it's for safe tile purposes, but you also have the south pair, which should also be very safe should an early Ricci happen that you're a little worried about. So I don't think there's a need to hold 3 safe tiles necessarily, especially when we're in a spot where we were 1 away from Tenpai, and we had to sacrifice a Dora to hold that.
I've kind of embraced clunky hands just in the case where somebody does get a first row reach, and then I'm like, okay, well, I have this off-wind pair. I have all these tiles that seem relatively safe to a Ricci player, and I'll just play on that fact. Like, I won't even try and complete my hand, but if I start getting the right tiles and I get more information about what they could be holding, I'm like, this is actually pushable now. So I kind of reserve that I could throw these away if I want to, just to be safe, or I can push, knowing that I can throw them later, just in case things go wrong.
All right, I gotta say here, Alex, I know we talked about this in the early games as well. That a lot of players don't like Chitoy. Are you a Chitoy fan? Because I know our dealer is. Intentionally cutting the Forso. That feels like you only do that for Chitoy.
Boom.
I worry though, Alex, about your mic. I have the feeling that it's cutting in and out.
Cutting out a whole lot.
Oh, yep. We're getting robot Alex. Oh, we see the Tempai on the right.
Each.
Tanyao, Dora 1. Tempai on the left as well. If you can't call the east, just draw it yourself. And that's Sanonko chance on Tsumo. 2-pin has one in the wall. North has one in the wall. Big chance for Dax here. The North should come out, well, pretty readily. Dax, of course, is the North player, so that might draw some concern, but that's a Tempai for the dealer, and they're going to slam this too. 5-8 pin. All the 8 pins are gone, but still 5-pin live. Khan?
Kang.
Oh, Khan on the left, I see. And it's a big mess. We're going to cheat for Tempai and have 4 players? No, we'll pass and draw the deal in 3-so tile. The 6 just came out, so the 3 doesn't look that bad, but the North will be cut instead. Wow. Zach dodging an expensive deal in, and instead it's going to be the dealer well and Ricci, and the Urasan as well. Insanity. Just everything happening in that round, and then some. Dax is going to be the big winner in that hand. Hanuman. Oh,
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch to cellular there. My internet was kind of cutting in and out there, but
oh, I hope you got to see the hand at least.
Yeah, I did see the hand, but it was just like, just I didn't hear like the question that you were posing to me is what I was trying to communicate.
Oh, gotcha. It is.
Earlier.
It was, well,
the
important thing is that Dax came out with a big win, and now with the dealership passing on, quick call for the dealer. Potentially door 2. If we pair up the 8-pin, that would be the ideal draw here. But we can just call the 4-pin or the 7-pin into Tempai, and just calls all over the place. On the right.
Oh, this is looking really expensive here on the right.
It's a Honitsu Force. Ooh, that 7-mon coming out just in time. Maybe one draw later and it'd be too late. They're considering this call here. We'll take it.
Wouldn't be the craziest idea.
Might not be able to get to use the door here, but that's not the worst thing in the world necessarily. Value less of a priority when you've got better hand right. Considering a Ricci. Does not take it. Between cutting the Forso...
The Rose Dora.
Yep. Honitsu Force. Yeah, on the left, between cutting the Force and the 1-so, I slightly prefer cutting the 1-so. For 1, because I absolutely adore 2-3-4 Sanshoku. And for 2, if we get a Sanshoku, the upgrade into Sanshoku, I'd prefer it to be with Tanyao as well. Just get a little extra value on top of it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Chance to go that direction again.
Navigate the rest of this round.
Yeah, and they're really thinking about this, which means that, they're considering both options. They slightly prefer angling towards the 1-2-3 instead. It might also be a little bit where the rest of the table, as there are 2 other players with multiple calls. By the way, oh, Tempai for the dealer. They did draw the ideal 7-pin that allows them to use the Dora. And as this game has been progressing,
Dom.
A1 has already finished game number 3. Dealer picking up the 2,900 here. Harrison the winner, plus 25.7. Amy picking up more points, positive 6.1. Quack took the 3rd, and Lucas the 4th. Harrison stealing away the victory. Amy thought she had in the bag with Riichi Patsumo Itsu for a Mongon in South 3, but in all last, Harrison did one better. Riichi Tsumo Sananko Tanya Ura 2 for the Hanuman to snipe away the win.
Sweet. Yeah, A1 is a very formidable place.
It's scary. It's no easy matchups in A1. I mean, frankly, there really aren't any easy matchups anywhere.
You're always going to get good competition.
And that's one of the great
Having
things
this
about the league.
one pin.
And one of the big goals was to give players in the country an opportunity to really test their skills competitively in a competitive arena. And I think it's succeeded in a big way.
Ooh, this is good. This is a good pair. Ishanten on the left here for potential, maybe Pinfu Itsu.
Yeah, 7-pin draw would be ideal. But if you get the 6-pin first, then that confirms that you're going to get Itsu.
That's a good pickup for a dealer there. Gets this hand a little bit closer. Ishanten also.
Yeah, it's really awkward central shape.
Kong.
Almost like just holding all the Tanyao tiles.
Oh, there's a con. Hello.
Oh, how about flip yourself to Dorakan?
Yeah.
Dax.
So now that is Hatsu with 3 Dora now. That's looking, but still needs to resolve problematic penchant in their hand.
How about 4 Dora?
But hello.
That triplet
just be a Mongon.
Yeah, you can draw now all the pairs of 1, 2, 7, or 8. So, and also get Tempai that way. So
it would be a real interesting decision if they managed to draw the 4th one.
Oh, and now things get scary.
That's all I'm gonna
Arichi.
say.
Oh, and that 6-pin
Decides not
fit.
to go for the E2. Just gonna take this. Arichi manages to make it anyway.
Yeah, Chi and Tempai take it. That's
but it's gonna come back out. Oh,
hard not to fight Mongon value, but
this
deals into Mongon instead.
It isn't Ura 4.
Yeah, that's right. It's not Ura 4, but that one Ura does actually matter in this instance. And so, well, here we are in East 3. Scores have evened out a bit.
Oh, look at this hand on the right here. This has got possibilities of Chanta written all over it.
Yeah, also could just be a fast hand. We'll see. Dora 5 Mon certainly usable by just about every player here. Dealer, in fact, floating a 5 Mon Dora, hoping to get something to stick to it. Oh, Chi.
And kicks it out. That is a whole Nichu play if I ever saw one. That is ambitious.
I'll say.
But it's gonna find a tile.
Yeah, that's a big tile
works.
too. Tons of improvements. You could even find yourself with Itsu as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7, 8, 9 shape. On the left, there's a north pair waiting to be called. Oh, the 8 Sotra is I'm trying to decide whether I'm happy or not because the shapes that are left over aren't that great. There's so many pairs. I almost feel like in order to win the hand, you have to call, but 8-pin will be passed.
7
There's no such thing as too many pairs. You just create a new problem. You just have chi toy.
All right. If you've pawned once already, then there's such a thing as too many pairs. Oh my, we're shifting.
Never such. There's never such thing as too many pairs. I don't believe in too many pairs problems.
1
That's where it gets fun. Cutting which pair is it's a bit of a refined art, really. It's playing with too many pairs. I've figured it takes a lot of intuition to figure out what the wall is trying to give you, and just read into that a little bit.
9-pin. Is that too scary to jab? No. We'll fight. Oh, another 9-pin. Well, that one passed already.
We are getting down into the beginning of the third row here. Not a whole lot more to go here, but this scary Honitsu on the right here.
1
Okay, didn't quite.
Oh my! Didn't quite get there, but it is still pretty scary.
Yeah,
Looking
I'll say.
for the last 8-mon in the wall for
本
Ipeiko
Gotta read that no one else can use them.
Haku. And our dealer has found Tenpai on a Honitsu also as well.
質問
Oh, finds the last one!
The
Oh.
read, it worked. For the Mongon. Dax says, give me those points. They were my points. Now, once again, with a significant lead here going into the dealership.
A very easy thing to just cut that east, go for it. Just Richi Pinfu.
Yeah, I like this cutting the dragons first, because if you do, if you cut the east and then immediately draw it back, you feel pretty sad to lose double east. If you cut a dragon and then immediately draw it back, well, it's just one Han. Slightly more acceptable.
Although that Dora 7-mon though is going to slow down this hand. If we're going to build around it. Or we just draw it.
Yeah,
or we
have
just
you
draw
consider just drawing it? Oh my goodness. Just straight
well,
to Tempa.
just prove me wrong in every single way.
All right, can we draw one more? Just immediate Tempai? Oh! just as I finished talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can blame me. You can blame me.
Well, anyway, we are going to just swap tiles here.
Yeah, the hand's shaped up to be Richi P if we didn't need that double east anyway.
1
But that is a record scratch if I saw any. This is also going to be Ipeiko search for the 7-pin.
Yeah.
But
Bert posing some questions. Dax, do you want to fight? Response? Yes.
本 4
oh, but that's the Ipeiko side of things.
Yeah, the slightly more expensive. The Uda is what really is painful. It wasn't so bad before. But
yeah, that would have been 2,600, but the extra Ura is gonna double it.
Yeah, where there's a Richi, there's a way for painful results. Still, from their spot,
dealer just throws Dora right off the bat.
Well, that's a little tricky to use sometimes, but You know, it's one thing if you see that it's door and you acknowledge that and you say, okay, I'm not going to use it.
But we do have a Ipeco really quick hand. Just needs to find something to connect onto these more useful tiles rather than these 9s.
Yeah, 9's
On
probably
the
going to have
right
to come out
there.
soon.
Yeah, that's a tile.
It's an upgrade.
강,
Oh, this
There's a
table.
con.
This table
Oh
likes the
boy.
cons.
7-pin new Dora.
I know you like your cons too, Alex.
Yeah. The thing about that is I've been getting a lot more Rinshan, so
I
it's
guess you have to con in order to win with Rinchon Kaiho.
yeah.
Maybe that's the secret that I've
봄,
been missing. I was
Just
wondering
need to
why I
con
couldn't get
more.
caught Rinchon. I just need to con more. This 3-pin is a really interesting pawn because it doesn't actually improve
치,
too much. Well,
Well, this is an opportunity to be really, really sneaky.
yeah, I almost prefer just cutting the 4-pin in that spot because
A little bit sneaky, cheeky with it. Oh boy. Oh, good lordy.
yeah, we only get one extra 3-pin this way, but we get a whole Dora waiting the other way.
Who needs to go the other way? We've seen probable things, right? I assume Sumo on the 3-pin.
Well,
좀,
you manifested a 3-pin into hands. And maybe from this position, just winning is
just one tile too soon. One tile too soon. And
Yes.
we are being thrusted into east or south too.
Bert, the dealership, Dora in hand. Not bad shapes. This is a high pie. I'd be pretty, extremely happy to draw. I might even cut the 1-2 pin here. It
치,
is slightly better to hold the 1-2 pin over the 4 soap, but
Oh,
봄,
that's looking a little bit funny over there on the right there.
God, did somebody say Honitsu?
Yeah. Although I would have been a little bit more ambitious with the amount of honors that that we have here.
Will be double south Honitsu, so that is going to be a Mongon should it complete. Most likely. Quickly into
But,
Ishan 10 on the left. Not value in that hand, but speed. And if you're not going to do one, you should certainly have the other. Like the
we are just trying to
two principles.
scrambling to
이치,
find that tile. There's a reach. Looking for. Wow.
Does Richie know me waiting on the 7-pin? Penchon.
Yeah, 7-pin.
You know, this is one of those spots where if we hadn't cut the
Gee.
5 so already, I kind of like just throwing the 8-pin there and not accepting Tempai. And this way, if we draw the 5-pin or the 1-pin, we get Itsu for
Zach's
extra
really
value.
painting himself in a corner with all these honors now. If he draws a 7-pin, he's most likely going to get thrown back.
Yeah, but how about Tempai?
Yeah. Waiting on South only, though. Both the other whites are out.
Still, that's the side that Zach wanted anyway for the Mongon.
All needs to double South.
And there's 2 in the wall. Con, I
Con.
would not do
Oh,
it. But
yeah.
Zach says,
Yes.
sure, why not give myself an extra Dora?
I man after my own heart, but oh, there's the roll.
Yeah, the con not providing any extra value. The Uda that hit was the original Dora anyway, so no harm, no foul for that con. But I always worry when
Nah, why even worry? Hitting Ura's not a thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's nothing for me, but other people seem to manage it.
봄,
Yeah, only hitting, it feels like when there's three Dora and I managed to reach, I only hit one. I'm like, really?
Oh, wait.
I exposed.
I hit an Uda in my 6th game of the season. I got one. I'm no longer Uda Uda-less this season. All right, I can no longer claim that I don't hit Uda. It took 6 games, but we got there.
Yes. And dealer's gonna go for a quick Honitsu, and the Sozu needs to
1、
sort out pairs here, but
Quicker still.
not so fast, my friend.
Bert has other ideas.
That is gonna be Riichi Pinfu.
2-5 so is a pretty good weight. 6 live could be Ipatsumo.
ポン、
Oh!
Nope. Ipatsu break.
Oh, it was Ipatsumo, but broken!
Oh.
Oh my goodness. What a clutch pull.
Oh my goodness. Shenanigans.
Absolute shenanigans. 8 so is also Tempai now for the dealer. So we'll be 2,600 all. Rowan will be 5,000.
Dora does not accept it.
It just throws it back, says, I'm Tempai. I'm in last place. I'm going to fight. And,
Keeps another 2. That's another
Sumo.
tile gone.
Oh,
But finds the sumo.
Bert could not stop the dealer. Clutch. Again, that Hatsu Pon was prevented. The win from coming out for Bert. And at Ishanten from High Pie.
Oh, we already have a Dora.
Imagine a 9-pin draw right here. Oh, just Tempai.
Oh,
Well,
Oh,
2-5 so.
gosh.
Can we do it again? Okay, well, Dama. Wait, sorry. That's
we're
not
headless.
Tempai.
That's headless.
I got a little too excited there.
But this has a chance to shift to 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku. So I don't.
It's that
I
interesting.
can't really argue against it.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Like, you could cut
yeah,
the 3-1, and then that uses the 2-mon as the pair and confirms the 6-7 shape and the 3-4 shape. This way, I'm not sure I understand the benefit really. Ipeco maybe, but what we really need is a pair.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to really up your acceptance, but now we run into some Fury 10 problems because the 7 so was dropped turn 2.
Mm.
And you're not going to find another one. You're not going to find another one soon.
That was the 6 so upgrade for the Sanjoku. 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's.
Well, the hand's kind of found its way again. It just needs 2 so, 5 so, or 8 so.
There could be possible Stananko on the right here.
That is a hand that could, in theory, complete. It has 2 Dora. It's the 2 so, so presumably 5-8 so for the Pifu, but you could reach you cutting to 8 for the 6-9. So 8's kind of sneaky.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of deception with the 9 and 8 already discarded from other players. So.
I love this.
Ooh,
When you talk
weight
about
8
sneaky
so.
weights, you would never expect this. Because remember you said how the 7 so came early? It was discarded early. So the 8 so and the 9 so both look a little bit safer. But if you drop the 8 so there...
Oh, no, that's the 8!
Yeah,
that's
it
the
wins!
8! It's gonna throw! Oh my god! Galaxy Brain move! And does pay off!
Oh my. Yeah, if the 9 so reach had happened, the 8 so would win with Pinshu as well for Mongon, but maybe if you declare Riichi with a 9 so, the player gets suspicious. Whereas the 6 so is less suspicious. I never thought I'd see the day where the Russian Tonki was taken, but it just wins. Hell weight Russian Tonki on top of that. That was the last top.
Yeah.
And that's first place. In South 3. Incredible stuff. The dealer's not done yet. Opening up on the 7 so for Tanyao.
Has taken the lead and has really tightened up first, second, and third.
No kidding. Gap of 2,500 between the three, first to third.
What? Yeah. That is a two-han dealer hand. Does this hand even have two-han?
Looks like a
Boom.
Tanya to
No, it
me.
doesn't.
Also, relatively inks. Well,
치,
Chi?
Oh,
Ishan 10?
okay.
Either one step
Well,
closer.
it's gonna be a Tonki play.
It's kind of funny when you've got two completed shapes in your discard,
치,
but those shapes didn't fit into the Tanya that was being built, so
치,
makes
Oh, there's a
sense.
Tenpai.
Yeah, on the
Calls
left,
one
Boom.
tile, but can't hang on to the other one for a simple
didn't think it
pay.
could be much closer than it was, but here we are, 700 points the difference between first and a tie for second and third.
Oh my goodness.
강,
Con, wow.
Con, open con.
Now we play the
Oh
game of
my.
what will the Yaku be? I'm guessing Honitsu and the Manzu.
Oh boy. I have a feeling there's gonna be multiple cons. Something just tells me we're gonna con up a storm here.
Dealer
Con,
already
con,
Ishan 10.
con of will it up.
Make this a insanely wide Ishan 10. This is another one of those shapes. You know, Rachel pointed out the perfect Ishan 10 shape from earlier in the street. And this is another one. I would not call this because we have so many draws of Tempai. The 2-2-3-4-4 when you're one away from Tempai. Sometimes the 2 can be your pair, sometimes the 4 can be your pair. And if you draw the 3, then neither is your pair. You can find your pair elsewhere. And cutting the 7 mon would lead to a great Ricci 4 mon, 5 mon, 8 mon in that world where you draw the 3 so this is really, really, really solid. Draw anything from 1 through 5 so. Anything from 4 mon through 9 mon, you'll be Tempai. Tempai, not just Tempai, Tempai with a good weight. Oh, but the 6-pin is going to be sniped. Oh, okay, not going to take the road because they didn't reach yet. And might be a little punished now. Surely
Oh,
you...
here we go. Sanzo, wait.
It feels like you got to take this battle and we'll just...
Reach Tanyo Ipeko with possible Ura bumps. So
6 9-pin has 5 in the wall. 3 so has all 3 in the wall.
that's a Dora.
Yeah, 4-pin will be hard to come out here.
And
But
now how do you navigate with 2 Richis?
you fold.
You fold and pray. Managed to hold on to 1 Stanzo.
Ooh, a
Can
terminal
you
tile.
hold?
Terminal Reachies are good because they just
They
are
just
less expensive.
win. Is that going to be? He doesn't want to take it. I don't think he wants to take it
I think you're
because it doesn't improve.
Ricci pay for door. I think you're
좀,
supposed to take it. They
Oh,
need to hit an
does
Uda. They
decide to
really
take
need to hit an Uda. Oh, it misses. They would have easily taken it from any other player to drop them below 30,000 points and prevent them from losing the 20 points of Uma rather than the 15 points of Uma. But no Uda here, even with 2 indicators. That's rough. Still, I feel like it's worth it. You got your Ricci sticks back. You collected 3,900 points. So you made up for the 5,000 extra 5,000 point loss in other ways and minimized the damage there. I think that was the correct path to take.
But anyway, we have Stack going to take the win with plus 18.4. And then Dax is going to get plus 8.4. Bert's going to take a measly 0.02, but or 0.2, I should say. And then Steven's going to take a minus 27 as we wrap up game 2. Could be game 3 and 4 potentially, or could just be 2 games and done for tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, we can hop over to the standings. I do know there's one more table that's finishing up a game right now, and we might hop over there and watch that as our last game.
Mm.
Let's take a peek. Yeah, Ham Ham against Bear Bear. and Rim and Mechanic. Be a fun one to hop into.
I love it. Let's head there.
Okay, they are in progress right now, so as we boot this up, I realize there will be a little bit of lag. Pardon the lag.
I'm really excited to see new players interact, see one. It's just how wild can I get in C1? What's the flavor? What am I going up against? No.
地位 本
As you start climbing up, you start to know generally how people like to play hands.
Yeah, that's one of the best
So
things about watching the entry division, the first division, is you get to learn play styles. And well, right now it looks like we're hopping east 4, Tai Tempai on the right with 2 Yakuhai, and
Dong.
Fedora and Apin will come out for the win. It will bring Tai into 3rd place, just barely over 30k. Looks like things have been pretty tight so far. Overall in the standings. Oh, it's not showing, is it? Let's
no.
boop boop boop. There you go. Well, you got the radio call. The radio call of the game. Tai hit Ham hit Bear Bear for 3,900 to send us into the South rounds. Yeah, all things said and done, this is very, very close.
Sounds like a Toy Story Yogi Bear crossover. Ham Bear Bear.
The funny thing is in Division 10, it's too big for our overlay.
Oh no, you gotta shrink that text. Oh no.
There we go. Squeeze
Now
it
it
in
just
there.
looks cursed. I love it.
The Division
Slightly
C1
cursed.
is so big. It's like 44 players, 11 tables per week. Monster
And they
division.
managed to get all completed in the initial time frame. That's pretty impressive. 44 games every 2 weeks. That's a lot of games.
That's like 2 divisions. That's A1 and A2 combined. Taking a
I'm
look at
just
the
trying to do.
Yeah, just speaking of the overall standings.
I mean, that's like a baseball season and a half. Because your regular season baseball
Gee.
game is 162 games, and you get that in 4 weeks or 2 months actually.
Mm.
That is
early call.
just thinking about that is mind blowing. But anyway, we're getting into some action here. We have got Dealer trying to force this opponent into the, but we do have a call. Ooh, that is a little tricky to navigate.
Oh, that's a great draw. We get the good weight.
Just one. Oh yeah, it's a really good weight, but it's only for green. We would want more.
Yeah, but in this
right?
situation, it's
I
Green
mean, this
Dora
game's-
1, so it's close enough. I guess if you take the 7 so 1 pin weight, you could get bonus food to bump it up. Oh, and that would have won.
Oh, throws it back. Ooh.
Yeah, actually, that's a really interesting note there. If you cut the 4 pin instead, holding the triplet of 1 pins gives you more food than the triplet of 4 pins. So that actually would make this duel worth 3,900 instead of 2,900. Of course, there's reasons to not cut the 4 pin because the 4 pin can feed the Tanya that's happening on your right. So a little bit of give and take there with that decision making. But oh my, what is this?
Oh, that looks like Chanta.
Oh,
Chanta Sanshoku.
Kaiser Claus with a very funny.
Oh,
A ve-
I would have kept that a little longer.
it's okay. It's okay. Just play the shapes. You got an advantage.
I
Home.
So Alex, check this out. 2 of the players at this table are us. One of the players is Alex. One of the players is Nathan. We are playing by proxy on this table.
yeah.
Right now, you're winning,
Nice.
but just barely. 2,002 points, 200 points ahead of me. Dealer grabbing the east wind. That is single east, as we have entered the south rounds, but south pair in hand is certainly callable as well. Alex across
Yeah.
the table with a really nice hand.
I'll take C and prevalent wind. Not in the same group. Oh, there's a con.
Chance. That's Dora. Dora.
Wait,
4 if you
to
call
it. Oh, they're gonna think about it for later. Ooh.
Wow, they got rid of the
Oh,
ace so
there.
just in time.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah. So it is gonna be. Shanta Sanshoku. Hello, draw.
Oh!
Oh
Don't.
no.
Just-
Oh, fades into it right away.
Threw the ace at the wrong time. That's going to be 58 plus Homba. Adds an extra 300 points for 6,100. And Ty, I've seen a couple games from Ty right now. He's kind of on a roll. Currently 6th place in the division. That's good for a promotion spot currently.
Yeah, this is. Oh, I'm feeling the sting of that one though. Because
Yeah.
now I've fallen into last place. What am I doing?
It's okay. It's okay. You didn't have a choice. Nathan on the right, though, very good hand. I'm very optimistic about its winning chances. Because it's got all of its blocks set, centralized tiles, there's a Dora and acceptance for more Dora. And even the weakest shape, 2-pin, 4-pin, is okay because you need a pair, so you could just pair up the 2-pin or pair up the 4-pin, and that fixes all of your problems.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is all the 2-pins are out already.
Well, I can't see that. I mean, okay, I can see it, but in-game Nathan can't see that.
Chi.
We'll just call here for the tiny Dora 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it. Sometimes the need for speed is very important.
Could call this, but probably doesn't have to.
Interesting.
Yeah, good pass. And then draws the 5-pin upgrade.
Finds a Samin-chan.
Yeah, just try it
Waiting on
yourself.
the. Oh, not waiting yet. Still Ishan 10, but this is wide now.
Ideal draws
Really
would be the
wide.
5 Sodora. That is not the ideal draw.
Oh, now that's Fury 10 trouble now.
Yeah, if you draw 4 So or 7 So, you could end up 50-10, but it's okay. Most of the times we won't draw that, so it's fine.
Are you sure you're the right person? Because dealer now could be working on 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku in a very, very,
Chi.
very optimistic way.
Yeah, so call was taken here for the
There it
Tenpai.
is. And it's going to be 3-6 Fury 10.
Yeah,
So it needs to find one of those tiles.
could have elected to pass that call. Oh, we'll actually just drop away from it now. It's just, I mean,
Mix it up.
I don't even think it's necessarily a problem to call and intentionally put yourself in 50-10 there.
リーチ
Okay,
Goes-
now we have a Ricci to consider.
Back in that same way.
Yeah, you want to give yourself a chance to win. You could just pull a 3-pin and be happy. East, will we call? No.
We have 2 players Tenpai, 3 players Tenpai.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Dama
But finds
there.
Sumo.
Yeah, the Dama means that we've got a still very tight game.
Heading into South 2 now.
Ooh, this
With a
is
6-pin Dora.
Ishanten.
홈,
So fast.
Yes.
Alex sees the path. It
Yes.
means it's a call and go.
Not worth. That's. We're almost there.
Yeah, 2-pin is natural here.
That
Ishanten with really wide acceptance.
is.
Headless is so good. Wouldn't you agree?
홈,
Yeah.
To pair up
And
anything.
find the
be
right
Tempai.
tile here, and we could have.
And any of your incompleted shapes, I should say.
You know what? We find a Forso here, and then we have 2 con opportunities if we somehow find those tiles.
Well, I'll probably just cut one of the triplets
Gee.
and slam a Ricci, but maybe you go for the Tonki and then get to the 2 con opportunities. Ooh, interesting choice here. I think you're supposed
It
to
was
throw
funny
it back, but
because
it's kind of close.
I think in the UK Mahjong Discord, I submitted a what would you do? It was a con decision. I was like, "Are you feeling brave enough to con this?" And you know, me and Garrick were having a
Eat.
conversation. You know, I was kind of telling him what was happening in the game. I was like, "Oh, maybe I should con this." I con it, and I somehow find my Hadaka Tonki pair to reach Shansumo.
Nuts.
강,
Oh, Khan's away the weight. Half of the weight is gone. But that also reveals 3 more Dora. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a give and take here.
Oh,
Can pull him for Tempai.
홈,
We'll take it.
boy.
2 So Dora. 6-pin
Oh.
Dora. 6-pin Yeet. It's safe.
Oh boy.
And across
This
the way, of course,
is
Hatsu weight. Oh, doesn't like the Tumon and is trying
breaks
to...
up the Tempai.
Oh, and misses the Tsumo, but still, 2-pin Tonki Tempai.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, the 2-pin Tumo looked
this
pretty
is-
bad. Okay, swaps the
Home.
4-pin. Oh, and the Hatsu has to come out. And that's
Dome.
going to deal in. It's
Oh
going to be
no!
Ricci, Dora 1, Ura. We'll have, of course, Ura-san.
Hatsu and Ura-san.
That's a big hit for Hungming. It's going to be all the way into first place.
홈,
I
And,
gotta stop making mistakes. Careless mistakes like this.
oh, wait, wait. So Shimocha discarded, Toyman drew, and now Shimocha drew again.
I'm sure that's a graphical glitch.
Yeah, we have a graphical glitch. I could refresh. I kind of want to see what's going to happen. But what
This is too funny though.
I
We're gonna
think,
see 2 tiles zoom out.
no, I think the game has actually frozen. It doesn't know. It doesn't know what to do. All right,
Oh gosh.
we will look at the refresh in. There we go.
Oh, sorry about the technical graphical glitch, but no one seems to have sped up their hands in the meantime, except for our dealer. Except for little me. Oh boy.
This is 6 Mondora. One on the right, one across the table. Open already for the dealer. We'll just try to call their way to a winning hand. Backfire on the 9-pin cut is a little unfortunate. Kind of tempted to keep the 7-pin anyway. For the 6, 7, 8 Sancho chance. Will you cut the 4-pin? No, just throw it back. Play the shapes as they are.
Although we do have 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku working across the way here for Tai.
Tai's built some big hands so far. He's got a couple of them to win. I'm trying to find a
He's gonna have
extra
to cut
value
that,
here.
He's gonna have to cut the 6, 8 shape.
Yeah, if you
to
pair up
accommodate
6 or
that.
8, then you can cut the 1 mon pair and get Tanyao too. You really want to pair up the Dora, because cutting the
Gee.
Dora seems a little
Yeah.
sad.
But there's an indicator gone out the window.
リーチ
Insta reach will be a 7-pin
But
weight.
never mind that. Here is the reach.
Just
It's gonna
deciding whether
be
to cut the 9 or the 6.
either con or pen. Yeah. It's gonna do penchon on the 7.
So it might
2
not
more in the wall.
it might not seem like there's any real decision there in how you discard.
チ
There's a little bit of variation. If you cut the 9-pin, it's a little bit safer because all the other 3 players have cut it. So in particular, the dealer is not going to call the tile.
Oh, here's a decision. Chance.
ドン
Oh,
Guess is wrong.
well, it tries to actually,
ooh.
intentionally wait on the 6-pin because it's safe to the Ricci, but in doing so ends up dealing in instead. And that's always a tough choice. Do you play the dangerous tile that allows you to get a sneaky weight on something that's safe against the Ricci player? Or do you just discard the safe tile and hope to win the one that is less likely to come
ポン
out from other players? In my experience, I mean, obviously it really depends on the situation, but the one that's less likely to win just wins more frequently than you'd expect. When that's not the sneaky Gambutsu snipe weight.
Oh, well, you called the 9 mon right off the bat. Do you think we're just swinging for the fences here?
It
Little
looks like
bit.
just sort of, I'm in last place and I don't have any hope to come back, so I'm just going to collect as many points as I can and preserve my position as much as possible. And who knows, maybe it does turn
Oh,
into
I
something
think
big.
we're thinking bigger than that.
As is, there's also a couple other battles in play here. Across the table, Nathan is aiming for a hand that will get them over 30,000 points. Could even be the maximum. And for dealer, trying to preserve the first place. Already Ishantan. Nathan considers calling for Toy Toy, but declines, says, I can do better. I think they can do better too.
Yeah, this is an opportunity to really make something happen. That's a pair up. And
That's
it's going to be
Tempai.
Tempai on the 4 mon 4 pin. For just Sumo Nomi so far.
Tai doesn't slam the reach yet. He wants to do
One
better.
Sumo, 1 Dora
Mhm.
right now.
Looking for a better weight. And Nathan, he's still got dreams. 2-pin is live, 3-pin is live, 5-pin is live, 7-pin is live. All the Suwako tiles are in the wall. Oh, well, there's the last 2-pin. I'd have to call this. Tai considers reaching on the 3-pin instead. Dama still.
Damas.
Nathan also is Shitoi Ishan 10, so doesn't even have to open. Dealer Tempai. Dama, again, no one wants to slam that Richie.
3-6.
Hit one turn.
リーチ
The wait 1 turn strat. It's gonna
Oh!
implement it. Oh, maybe get rewarded right off the bat here.
Hipatsu! It's really tempting, and he backs away.
Oh,
Chitoi taken, it will be
backs way off.
the Dora wait. 2 Dora left in the
Oh,
wall.
that's super sneaky. Oh, my goodness.
Hipatsumo!
Oh! Rishi Patsumo!
That's gonna jump 10 seconds. That could take over first.
Dora!
That will take over first. Out of nowhere, Nathan comes in with a reach
Hey.
Ipatsumo Chitoi Dora 2.
Hey!
Who needs Una?
Just have all the value yourself.
And that's going to be a swing all the way into first place, plus 26.6. The patience rewarded. Who needs to open up for Tanya Toy Toy when you've got
And that's
the goods?
everyone over 30K as well,
Mhm.
except for for my name, like minus
We'll take the minus
43.9.
43.9. Ty went from second to plus a 4.7 third. I mean, that's positive points. We'll take those. Fogming as well with the 12.6 second place. What a finish. Door Tonki broken, I say. Broken. Needs to be patched. Devs, please. And with that,
Oh, come on.
Nathan will climb ahead of Ty, I believe, in the standings. Yes, it's in the books. Nathan fifth place. Ty is in seventh, and Fengming is in eighth place.
You could say that's the wing gambit that works.
That is a thing that you could indeed say. And, well, I think that's a great note for our second Wednesday broadcast of the season to end on. I will say those C1 games were fantastic to watch. I really enjoyed the action and seeing the play styles of some of the new players in this league. This looks like a tough table, I gotta say, especially with three of the players up at the top, and still none of them have hit their first fourth place of the season, even 2 games into it against each other. So the ladder war going strong for these players. It's going to be tough to keep that up all season long. So best of luck in that regard. And I'm going to take a peek at the Game Results channel to see if the table that we started with has finished their final game just yet. They have. Amy was the winner. She's had a great day so far, has picked up over 100 points, as she does regularly in Armel, plus 21.2. Picked up a Mungon in all last to edge Korak out for the first place. Korak does sneak into, or does maintain a second place, plus 8.6. Lucas with a third, Harrison with a fourth. So, if for those who were invested in that series earlier, Amy has gone from negative 68 to positive 56 in the standings and is in fifth place overall. Well done.
Jeez.
All right. Well, we've got more action to come for the rest of the season. Still, this is just week 1 of the second session. That's right. And we'll have one more broadcast for round 2 coming up next week. Definitely tune in for that. Should be just as fun as the games were today.
Yes.
I want to shout out really quickly before we sign off our website, AmericanReachy.org. That's the place to visit if you want to register for the spring season or even just register to act as a substitute player this season. That happens every now and then. And of course, you will soon be able to follow all of the standings on the website there once those get updated to the current season at American Richie on our socials as well, YouTube and Twitter. Can follow the big hands that happen, the Yakumons, the Sanbaimons, and also all of our previous broadcasts are available on our YouTube channel as well. So definitely check that out. Also, I want to make a huge shout out to Rachel for providing some of the commentary for the very first couple of games. We wouldn't have been able to run the broadcast if she hadn't volunteered, even though she had an obligation later in the evening. So big thank you to Rachel, and big shout out to Alex as well. Thanks for hopping on and finishing the night out with me.
My pleasure, and boy, was that an action-packed change right after.
Absolutely. To everybody who tuned in, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.